The U.S. Federal Reserve's May meeting, which many had called a non-event, turned into a policy directive. The Fed kept rates unchanged for the sixth consecutive time as expected. However, the clear directive from the Fed is that there will be no further rate hikes. Yet, the U.S. Central Bank was hesitant to commit to rate cuts soon. Here's a report.
Seesawing expectations of when the Fed will cut rates have weighed on global central banks' policy decisions. Now, according to CME, Fed Watch tool, traders are still calling for at least 2 rate cuts this year. But that is down from 6 cuts predicted at the start of the year, with increasing bets of a real possibility of no Fed easing this year. Bets show that 3 basis points of cuts priced by June, 20 basis points by September, and 36 basis points by December. This is quite a turnaround, considering the market had already priced 150 basis points of cuts this year, beginning at the March meeting. The risk now is that the Fed may lower rates only next year, and even then to a more neutral level over a longer time than markets anticipate. On Wednesday, Fed Chair Jerome Powell did a U-turn on price pressures after he had dismissed higher inflation prints in previous months as temporary. That feels like a déjà vu for investors, who have seen the scenario play out when the Fed dismissed rising inflation as a transitory trend in 2021. Back then, the Fed was forced to resort to aggressive rate hikes to fight elevated price pressures. This is another reason why the Fed will be extra cautious in bringing rates down before inflation does. With the key rate at a 23-year high, the Fed is now torn between fighting inflation and supporting the economy. So what does this mean for other global central banks? They will be forced to stay on the sidelines too. The Fed's decision is already spilling over to emerging markets, including the Reserve Bank of India. Why? Because directional divergence from the US may neither be healthy nor desired by Indian policymakers, especially as geopolitics and altering economic models of the world require India to be agile. Also, the RBI and other major central banks too are struggling to get the last mile of disinflation. By report, WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.